Hey, man, I had to deal with it all week. I ain't heard nothing from y'all. What y'all think about all the Cam, Jaylen, everybody else stuff that happened last week?
Well, I mean, y'all know me, right? I just sit back and observe. Just like I do on this show, I sit back and observe. First of all, I'm gonna say this. I would say you and Cam, man, you're legends in your own right? Cam was an amazing football player. Someone going undrafted to achieve the type of career you have, and that goes without us even doing this show, and being brothers here. But to be undrafted and play 13 years, to win a Super Bowl, and establish yourself as one of the hardest hitting safeties that the game has seen, I mean, you gotta respect that. And we know Cam's resume. It was the personal shots that kind of tilted everything to the left. And once I saw it go there, I was like, nah, this ain't what it is. Debating the game is where it should always stay. We can easily blame Jaylen. Jaylen's a top 10 quarterback. The trajectory that he's on obviously continues to play in this fashion. He's gonna be a Hall of Famer. Yeah. And no one can argue that. So Cam kind of jumped out there and created something because he loses nothing. It's a 50-50 take, right? If Jaylen goes out there and plays well, then he doesn't lose anything. Yeah. So Cam knows this space. He knows what he's doing. He's active. He's good at it. He's great at football. But I just don't want you guys to take it any further, which is why I applaud you for going back to kind of cut it at the head and say, look, it's gone too far. Yeah. Leave it where we left it, and that be that. So that's my take.
Why are you laughing already, man?
Because talking about taking it personal. I think Gilly took it a little personal. I don't want y'all to get to the Gilly point. If y'all ain't seen that, go watch Gilly. But yeah, man, I hate when there's a debate and there's an opinion, and it starts getting personal and starts going back and forth with what I did, what you didn't do. It's almost like when people say he can't be a good coach, he never played the game. The best coach in the history of any ball, football, baseball, basketball, didn't play the game, but they know the game. So to go resume to resume, I think that was petty on Cam's side. But to your point, like, what does Cam have to lose for saying those approaches? The 4th and 1, I watch it. Cam's good. Cam's our dude. I go to his cigar shop whenever I go to Atlanta, whenever we're in Atlanta. Cam's a good guy, but to put it to a point of resume, that's why I thought it went wrong. And I was surprised. I'm not going to lie. I know I brought up Gilly. That was, I was surprised that you didn't go a little harder. You came out very professional, brother. I was like, because I'm watching from afar. I'm like, okay, so he'll punch his throne. Let me see what RC's going to throw. You ain't throw like I thought you was going to throw.
Yeah, man, because I'm not going to act wounded when I'm not, right? And I wasn't wounded. I wasn't hurt. Shoot, 2 weeks ago, Cam took shots at me, said I played it safe as an analyst because I thought he could be an advocate for Jayden. I didn't take a shot at Cam personally or career-wise. I shot him a text after he went at me. I said, bro, we ain't got no beef. I saw his people that night at Topgolf. I said, I ain't got no issues with Cam. Then the Jaylen thing comes up, and my analysis was, let me use Cam as a player to draw reference to. Let me use Eli. Let me use Patrick Mahomes. And just to not play it safe, instead of just saying Cam didn't win a Super Bowl and Jaylen did and Eli did and Mahomes did, I said, I'm going to say Cape, and I'm gonna bring up rings. And so then he goes into this whole thing that's really personal, comparing our careers, our resumes. But that didn't hurt me either. The reason I stepped up for Cam was back in the day when everybody was saying he shouldn't have an opinion, I think it was about Dak, I came on this show and said why he should. And my intention this time wasn't to say he couldn't have an opinion. I actually used Cam as a point of reference as to why I thought Jaylen was a top 10 quarterback. And so then when Cam says all that stuff, to me, that's a matter of perspective, right? Because think about if Cam was trying to introduce me to his 7-on-7 kids and was using my story to inspire instead of to insult, right? Because then he could say, yeah, nobody wanted this guy. They said he couldn't play, right? But an undrafted guy who was cut played longer than the first rounder that stands before you. Because, yeah, I played longer than Cam. Not only did he play longer than the first rounder that stands before you or the overall first pick, he played longer than any safety that was drafted the same year he was drafted. And one Pro Bowl wouldn't be you only made one Pro Bowl. It would be from being cut, from having a regular job, from being undrafted, you became a Pro Bowler. You worked hard enough to be voted captain. You did get to change rules because of the way you played. And I think if you tell my story that way, it's a matter of perspective and you say, oh no, this dude did accomplish a lot. Maybe he even overachieved, which I'm comfortable with. Basically what Cam told people was that he was more gifted than me. Duh. If they see us standing next to each other, they know that. And so for me, I wasn't wounded by that. I wasn't hurt by that. So I wasn't going to continue to perpetuate brothers arguing with each other about who they were in a different lifetime about a top 10 quarterback. And this is the last thing for me. The thing that he should have said about me was this. Ryan Clark was undrafted and walked away from the game when he wanted to onto a TV set, and there isn't one play in his career that you can point to and say he should regret because he didn't give all out maximum effort. And I'm comfortable with that.